The following program contains language, images, and/or subject matter that may be objectionable to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Direct from Albany, New York, it's time for the New Media Zone. With your hosts, Ed and Dave. Tonight, a look at this week's new film and DVD releases. And a chance to win free movie tickets with the poster pairs game. And now your hosts, Ed and Dave.
Hello, and welcome to the New Media Zone. Ed and Dave here, Ed and Dave with you. Oh, we're going to have fun. We're going to go back to 1964 tonight.
Oh, there it is. I forgot about that.
Yeah, 64 I think was a pretty good, interesting year, even though we were only 2 at that time.
All right.
We didn't know we would go on in a few years and have very hirsute beards in 1964. Is that longer than the one you had when we were doing the reunion shows? We'll have to compare.
I don't know. I'm just not caring anymore. Don't want to get a haircut. not shaving.
That doesn't bother you, the beard?
No. There's stages where it gets very itchy, and basically what I do is I just have a brush. And I just go hack away at it until the flesh is raw, and then it stops itching. You can put some oil in it, moisturizer, get in there, keep things nice and lubricated, so it doesn't itch as much. And then once it hits a certain phase, it stops itching, and then although there's this weird white patch right here. That looks odd, doesn't it? Well, that's what happens when you get old.
You used to fill in the
I did.
spots with what were you using?
Mascara.
Mascara.
Comb it in.
Comb it in.
But you can't do it anymore. Look at that. It's all white. And white here. Yeah, you get the white over here. I can't. I'd run out. So, again, Ed, like I said to you before, who do I have to impress? Nobody. Yeah. Who cares?
Looks good on camera there.
Does it? I don't know. I don't care. I'm old. Don't care. Let it go. Let it go.
64. We're going to look at the top films first.
Top film. Are we getting right into that?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. How apropos that we mentioned this film. Number 10, A Hard Day's Night from the Beatles. Because they're Hulu, right? Hulu has their series Get Back, or their documentary?
Disney, I think.
Disney. Okay, you're right. Hulu, I think, had another one with Paul McCartney. But, Hard Day's Night.
Is that the first movie? Must be,
It is their first movie. Yeah. They subsequently did Help, I believe. I think they did a Magical Mystery Tour, Yellow Submarine. Not a Beatles fan.
Let It Be was a movie, right? The last movie with the thing on the...
Yes, that's the one that we're talking about. That's the documentary.
Yeah.
But they did the concert on the roof. Concert on the roof. Number 9, The Pink Panther.
Oh.
Released March 18th, apparently in Italy, December 1963.
Yeah, December. It came out in December in Italy.
Okay.
And we mentioned that because there's another Pink Panther movie coming up.
There is?
Yes.
Now?
No, then.
Oh.
Yeah, coming up.
Coming up.
Shortly. Right.
Oh, that would be the second one, which I know of.
Which they rushed out, apparently.
Yes. And then there's a bad one with Alan Arkin.
Right.
Number 8, The Unsinkable Molly Brown.
It was a musical.
Okay.
About Molly Brown, which was a real character, right?
Was on the Titanic.
Yeah.
Number 7. You'll have to explain what this is. Oh, well, there is an explanation. Okay. What a Way to Go. It's a black comedy starring Shirley MacLaine, Paul Newman, Robert Mitchum, Dean Martin, Gene Kelly, and Dick Van Dyke. Never heard of it.
No, that's why I had to look that up. Apparently something about death and going. I don't know. Black comedy.
Wow. All right, here we go with the Pink Panther sequel. Number 6, A Shot in the Dark.
Now that one, they took a stage play or something and just kind of worked the Pink Panther into it to get another movie out at the end of the year.
Yeah, only 6 months later. Wow, not even. Number 5, From Russia with Love. That's Sean Connery.
That's the second James Bond movie.
Number 4, The Carpetbaggers. This film is a landmark of sexual revolution of the 1960s, venturing further than most films of the period, with its heated sexual embraces, innuendo, and sadism between men and women.
Oh my God.
Much like the novel where, quote, there is sex and or sadism every 17 pages.
How do we not know of this film? It sounds like something we as film students should have take a look at, right?
I've heard of it. I know the name. I've never seen the film. I have no idea what it was about.
Yeah, that pops up on TCM. We might have to take a look at that.
Why? There's Pornhub. Number 3.
But in '64, all you had was the Carpetbaggers.
But this is 2022.
Right.
Number 3, Goldfinger.
Oh.
Ooh, this came out December 22nd.
And when was the other one?
May 27th.
May. Boy, they cranked that out.
Yeah. Wow.
The third James Bond, Goldfinger.
Number 2, My Fair Lady.
Okay, that was Who's He What's It's and was it Rex Harrison?
Who's He What's It?
The one from the Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Audrey Hepburn. Yeah. Number 1, Mary Poppins.
Oh.
That's Julie Andrews?
Yep. Dick Van Dyke. I think I saw that at the drive-in years later.
You can't have Dick Van Dyke in this. If you were making this film today, you cannot have Dick Van Dyke in it because he's not British.
Right. Why not? Today we have every British guy playing an American, especially on The Walking Dead.
It's called acting, people.
Right.
You're not supposed to be the embodiment of the character you're playing.
That's true. That's how it was supposed to go, but now you have to get the actual thing or person or whatever to play what they're playing.
I don't want to be the Hulk. All right, that's it for the top 10 movies of 1964. You got some honorable mentions there?
I got a few other things that we know of. The Comedy of Terrors.
Ooh, wait a minute. Vincent Price, Peter Lorre, Boris Karloff,
Right.
Basil Rathbone?
Right. You got them all.
All right.
Collect them all.
I saw that movie. That was a good movie.
Yeah, those were the Roger Corman films, I believe. Straight Jacket
Ooh, I don't know that one.
was directed by and produced by William Castle and written by Robert Bloch, who did Psycho, and starring Joan Crawford. I guess this was the earliest of the hagsploitation films.
Oh boy, yeah.
We put the older actresses in the horror things. Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, that's Peter Sellers.
Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb was the full title.
Well, that could be appropriate to today's world.
And this was another film I've heard of, which must have picked up the title from Dr. Strangelove. The Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies. Which I've heard of, but I've never seen that.
I've never heard of that one.
The Last Man on Earth.
That's not Charlton Heston. No.
You're close. This was the first version of that story, the Omega Man.
Right.
This was Vincent Price.
Oh, okay.
And there's a plague. It's interesting. There's a section in the middle where they show what happened with the plague, and it's very similar to what's going on now.
Oh, boy.
The Horror of Party Beach was one of those 60s party movies with monsters that came out of the water. And Marnie.
That's not Tippi Hedren, is it?
Yes, a Hitchcock movie, which I've never seen. Should take a look at that. And another hagsploitation, Hush Hush, Sweet Charlotte.
Betty Davis.
Yes.
Okay.
Those are some other 64 films. Now we've got some songs. Let's see if we remember these songs. We were only 2 at the time, but they carried on for a while.
Yeah, they don't just play them for that year.
No.
Number 10, Where Did Our Love Go? By the Supremes.
Okay, that's a classic we should remember.
That was a song I would be singing a lot over the course of my life. Number 9,
I just put that together there.
Number 9, Last Kiss. J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers. I don't know that one. Where, oh, where did my baby go?
Oh, that's
the refrain?
That's the beginning of the song. That's one of those ones where there's a car crash and the girlfriend dies. Oh, where did my baby go?
Well, that's a lovely song.
Yeah.
Number 8, from Gail Garnett. We'll sing in the sunshine. That's all that I know.
We'll laugh in the rain?
I don't know. Number 7, My Guy by Mary Wells.
Okay, we know that one.
Yep.
Nothing you can do. These turn up in movies, current movies, older movies.
All right. Number 6, Everybody loves somebody sometime. From the warbling voice of Dean Martin. His signature song.
The signature song. I saw the roasts popped up.
Yeah.
On Amazon or somewhere, and I watched one. I remember he wanted to do the roast because it was easier for him to read off the prompter.
Did no rehearsal.
He could barely do that in the one I was watching. A lot of drinking going on during those roasts.
It was the Dean Martin show, the variety show, from like 1967 until mid to late 70s. Then he decided, I don't want to come in. I don't want to do rehearsal. I just want something easy. So that's when they came up with the roasts, and they would do them. I think they did them weekly for a short period of time, then monthly. Then it was like every 3 or 4 months, and then that was the end of it. But yes, he didn't want to.
Into the 80s, though, early 80s. They went.
Everybody loves it. Number 5, I Get Around from the Beach Boys.
Everybody knows that one, though. I Get Around.
I don't like the Beach Boys. Number 4, Pretty Woman from Roy Orbison.
Oh, we all know that from the Julia Roberts film where they play that and she goes and gets her outfits.
Number 3, Hello Dolly from Louis Armstrong.
Well, hello. Was that the film was out this year? I'll have to see when I
don't know.
I don't know if it was this year.
I don't know. That's not my favorite Louis Armstrong song. What a Wonderful World is the best Louis Armstrong song. Number 2, from the Beatles, She Loves You.
Yeah, this is when the Beatles came out, right? 64 was the first?
64, I think, was when they were around in Hamburg before that, Germany, and I think 64 is when they hit big here in the States. And number 1, I Want to Hold Your Hand, also by the Beatles.
Yeah, they're in the top there. I was surprised some later Beatles songs came out a little higher on the list, further back.
Okay.
That's all the...
That's it for the songs.
Okay,
what do you got?
I'm going to jump around and pick out songs. These are all from the Beatles that were out that year.
Oh, no.
A Hard Day's Night.
Yeah.
Love Me Do.
Yeah.
Please Please Me.
Uh-huh.
Twist and Shout. Can't Buy Me Love. Do You Want to Know a Secret?
That's a good one.
I Saw Her Standing There. All from the Beatles. This wasn't one album, right? Didn't they knock out a couple albums?
Think back in those days, you were doing a couple albums a year. Even like Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra putting out 2-3 albums a year. Monkees put out a couple albums a year. I mean, the Monkees are only together like 5 years. I think they have like 7, 8, 9 albums. 2 of them came out within months of each other. But yeah, they were doing that. Nowadays, you go 4 or 5 years between albums. But yeah, I don't know what albums they're from. My brother would know that. He'd know all what albums they came off of.
Should we call them up right now?
No.
We might, depending on the clock.
Could be Meet the Beatles, followed by maybe Rubber Soul.
There had to be at least 2 that were out that year.
Yeah, I don't know what they are now, but proceed.
Doo-Wah Diddy Diddy from Manfred Mann.
Manfred Mann's Earth Band?
It must be the same one that would do Blinded by the Lights in the 70s. Everybody knows this from Stripes, the film you didn't like.
Right.
From Ivan Reitman. Please, Come a Little Bit Closer. Do you know that one?
Only pertains to a commercial for close-up toothpaste. I don't think that's the song, though.
Jay and the Americans. Come a little bit closer. That's what they used in the commercial, right? The House of the Rising Sun.
Ooh, that's Eric. Burden and the Animals?
I just have the Animals here,
Okay.
but it was Eric and the Animals, right?
Yeah, I think it was. There is a house in New Orleans.
That's classic 60s right there.
Oh, that's another thing we forgot to mention. I can't remember the guy's name. But the lead singer of Procol Harum died.
Yes.
From the Whiter Shade of Pale. Great song.
And he was the lead singer,
Yeah.
not somebody just third down in the band.
Right.
Because I usually include those, and I said, it was one song.
Oh, but it's a classic
it's
song.
a great song,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he passed on.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it was good to throw in. We need to remember him. He should have been remembered.
Well, we just don't remember his name.
The way you do the things you do, Temptations.
All right, I know that song.
As pretty as you are.
Wow.
Everybody knows
64,
that
huh?
one.
1964?
And Louie Louie,
Oh, that's the song that no one knows the words to.
the Kingsman. We know that from Animal
Animal
House. And there was apparently some kind of trouble because of the words. They thought that somebody was going low, but it wasn't really the lyrics. But that's what people were singing. But
Yeah, who knows?
Louie Louie.
All right, Ed, we're going to do 1964 TV shows.
Okay.
Let's see how many you remember. And you! The number 10 show from 1964, Combat! Which I'm assuming is some kind of a war thingy.
Yeah, I think it was World War II, perhaps, and it was so dramatic they had to put an exclamation point in the name of it.
That's right.
I want to say Vic Morrow was in that, but I never saw that.
Neither did I. Number 9, Peyton Place. That's like a cereal. Or what do they call them things? Soap.
Yes. Ryan O'Neal was in there, and that went on for a few years.
Number 8, The Lucy Show.
This is the black and white one where she had 2 kids, not the one with the gams and the animated puppets. And was Vivian, I think Vivian was in here, right? Vivian Vance?
I think so.
We're confused with some of these 60s Lucys.
Well, what is there? There's I Love Lucy. There's a Lucy Show. Isn't there a show just called Lucy?
Here's Lucy.
Here's Lucy.
And then there's one, I think I saw it's coming out on video finally, the Life with Lucy.
Oh, God.
There was only like 8 episodes before they pulled the plug. It looked like Lucy was going to break a hip. She was climbing up and down ladders. You just felt like, oh my God, she's going to break something.
By that time, she had that kind of a voice.
Yeah.
Number 7, The Dick Van Dyke Show. One of the all-time great shows.
Yes. On Blu-ray, for some reason. I guess they filmed those. Those weren't taped. They look good, right? Even at the time. I don't think they were videotaping shows. I didn't have videotape
Right,
in
I
the
don't think
60s,
so.
not till the 70s. Which is a shame because those videotape shows look horrible now.
They do. Number 6, The Red Skelton Hour.
Now, last time I did go to the Dollar Tree, they had a nice Red Skelton collection. The best of, which I'm surprised it lasted all of 2 hours.
So am I.
The Glenn Diddlehopper, one of the classic characters.
This is, you know you're not a great comedian when you go into character by just going, fixing your hair, pushing it out. No, I don't know. I never found him entertaining either. Lucy I didn't care for. Red Skelton I didn't care for. I don't know.
I remember watching that just because I don't think there was anything else on. You had 3 channels. People forget that, you young Gen Xers or whatever you are out there. You forget that we had 3, in the old days, TV shows. 3 channels. And PBS, which nobody watched unless it was Steam Bath.
I was just going to say that.
And there was some nudity. Valerie Prime nudity in that.
That was what, 77, 78?
Yeah, it was amazing. There was it was a play, so it was
Bill Bixby.
Bill Bixby was in it, right? And it was an artistic play, so you could see that on PBS, the nudity.
Because artsy breasts are better than, I don't know, sexual breasts. Number 5, The Fugitive. David Jansen?
Yeah, people know that more maybe from the
Harrison Ford movie.
Harrison Ford movie, which was based on that, in The One-Armed Man.
Number 4, The Andy Griffith Show. I never cared for the Andy Griffith Show when I was younger. I appreciate it now. I like it now. I watch it now. I think it was a good show.
Yeah, I think the black and white ones are better.
Yeah, when Howard, what was his
Howard Sprague.
Yeah, I didn't care for him. Or,
And the horrible replacement for Barney Fife.
Burns, right?
Yeah, Jack Burns.
Jack Burns. Yeah, that was pretty bad. He just vanished.
Yeah.
And no explanation. Just gone. Number 3, from 1964, Gomer Pyle, USMC.
That was good.
United States Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Frank Sutton.
He was always good.
Ronnie Shell.
Ronnie Shell, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's Lonnie Shore.
Oh, Ronnie Shore. It wasn't Ronnie Shell, too?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I just remember Lonnie Shore, everybody. The most unfunny comedian ever.
Merv Griffin.
Ooh. Oh, that was good stuff.
I have to find that Merv Griffin sketch we did. Were you in that one?
I don't know, but please don't put it on YouTube or anything. Number 2, Bewitched.
Oh! I wonder which Dick was out here.
This would be the first Dick.
This is still the first Dick.
This would be York.
Dick York,
Yep.
and then Dick Sargent
Sargent.
was the later one.
He was the second Dick.
Now,
The taller Dick. The bigger Dick. He was from 1960s. Because this went on for what? How many years? 5 years?
into the early 70s.
Was it? Did it make it to 1970?
Yes.
So I think Dick Sargent came in around 67, 68.
Yeah.
I think Dick York.
The first Dick was sore.
Yes.
He had to get stood up erect on a board because he had a bad back.
Right.
So there was a Dick that was straight up,
Right.
and then another Dick came in. He was okay. He was up and down
Right.
all over.
Right.
But it's surprising because the one that was...
He was the more versatile Dick.
right.
Yeah.
People have their favorite Dicks, I know.
Yeah. Yeah. The Dick York is my favorite. Darren.
You know who was a Dick? I just learned.
Chevy Chase?
There was another. There was another Dick, a smaller Dick.
Oh!
It was a Halloween episode where the Dick reverted back to his childhood, and it was little Bill Mumey.
Bill Mooney.
He was a Dick.
He was a Dick.
Right.
He played...
He played the young Darren.
Okay. So, there's 3 Dicks.
There's at least 3 Dicks. I think Dick changed into other things throughout the years.
Well,
There's probably
probably.
other Dicks, too.
Yeah.
The show with... They thought they were going to fool people then and switch Dicks. Right in the middle of the series.
Yeah.
They're going to take one Dick out and put another Dick in.
Right.
And they thought people wouldn't notice.
You always notice when a new Dick is put in.
Right.
Always.
That's correct.
I mean, totally different Dicks.
Right.
Oh, unbelievable. Does that shtick ever get old?
Yeah.
I'm sure the 4 people watching are like, oh, God.
I even found a nice picture of the animated Dicks looking at each other. Somebody put it together. So that always goes in
So
here.
is that right there?
That's right here. 2 Dicks looking at each other.
All right. And the number 1 show from 1964, Bonanza.
Oh.
And that lasted many years.
Yeah, that lasted so many years. One of the, what were they, Ponderosas?
Ponderosa,
Cartwrights.
Bonanza, yeah. The Cartwrights.
There was a Cartwright left.
Adam, I think. Pernell Roberts, I think. I don't know if he played Adam. He may have played Adam.
I think so. He left for something, some other reason, never to be seen again until when?
Trapper John.
Trapper John. And then one of the Cartwrights didn't even make it to the end of the series.
No,
Dick
that
Blocker.
would be Hoss.
Dan Blocker.
Dan Blocker.
So he passed on.
Yeah, brain aneurysm, I believe.
Yeah. That's too bad when a Cartwright goes down.
How many were there? Was there 3 Cartwrights? Was it just the 3 of them? Michael Landon, Dan Blocker, and Pernell Roberts? Was there another one?
They didn't bring somebody in to take his place?
I don't
A cousin
know.
or something?
I don't know.
I think they just left it along with the 2 brothers at the end.
But when Hoss died, that only left...
One
Michael
Cartwright,
Landon.
and of course Lauren Green.
Right. and his toupee.
His toupee. What about Burnell Roberts? He must have had a toupee in that.
You think he had one back then?
Or did he
'Cause
just have a cowboy hat?
I don't know. I don't know if he, did he. I don't know if he was really bald back then. I mean, back in the 15, 20 years later when Trapper John came on, like late 70s.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe 15 years later.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe he had a little hairpiece there.
Wayne Rogers, who had the curliest hair.
Yes.
Well, I guess how many years would that be? Not after the series, actually, but in real time, which was the Korean War. So that was a good 20 years, right?
Yeah,
so by that time, all of Trapper's hairs came off,
right.
I guess.
Right.
All right, 64.
No honorable mentions for movies?
Or no
TV
other
shows,
TV shows. There wasn't a ton at the time.
Oh.
So just the usual ones that were bubbling outside of the top there. Did we mention Gunsmoke? That wasn't in here?
No. Ponderosa was in there. Or the
In 64?
The cart race there, Bonanza. Yeah, it wasn't there.
They must have been bubbling just outside of there, but they come back in later on in the 60s, I believe, right? We usually come up with Gunsmoke in the top 10.
I guess.
So, that's it.
Uh-oh.
We're a little short.
Oh, no.
What happened with 64? We're a little shorts.
I don't know. Is there anything you wanted to add? Movies, songs?
That's it. I covered everything.
Go back and sing "Everybody Loves Somebody" by Dee Martin. I don't know. I got nothing
64.
else.
Well, that's it. We even threw in a little discussion of your beard, and that
I know.
didn't.
We'll discuss it again. I don't know. I don't know. It's just
64.
and this is. Let me tell you, this is nothing. My son could grow this in 3 days. This has taken me like 2 months and a little shaping here and there. That kid grows it in like a commercial break.
Oh, jeez.
He's got this, and he can grow the big, long. Mine won't get that long, but his gets down. He had it one time down mid chest, I'd say.
Oh my!
Massive beard.
Yeah, I don't know if I could grow a beard like that. I don't like even more than 2 days of fuzz or whatever they call it, growth.
Stubble.
Yeah, and the in the 80s, I would have the Don Johnson stubble because it was in fashion. I would have to have it. But 1 year I had a mustache, which looked like Rupert Pupkin. But other than that, I didn't really have any facial hair at all.
So now my father, no sideburns, could not grow anything on the side. Nothing. Just here. Just the Van Dyke, I think they call it. It's not the goatee.
Not Dick Van Dyke.
No, that's a different Dick.
Right.
This is he had the Van Dyke here.
Huh.
But he could grow nothing on the sides. And I get all this mess. And then my son is even messier with his big...
Does he have the beard at the moment? Or
He has a very close... A regular beard. Like not a big
beard.
long one. It's just right on his face there.
Okay.
Well, which is where beards are.
He doesn't have an extending...
Close to the face is what I'm saying. It's not a big bushy beard.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's not for winter warmth or anything. It's just you felt like growing it. So, you didn't have that when we were taped like 2 months ago. I don't think. Did
Who?
you? You.
This?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Or has it been growing since then?
No, I think after we did the last show,
That was it.
I've stopped.
It was the winter and just let it grow.
Who cares? I'm letting the hair grow. I don't care.
Did you try to get around things to maybe people would think this was a mask you had on?
No.
Yeah, that guy's got a mask on. He's all right.
No, I remember going back to the urologist.
Mm-hmm.
You got to wear the mask. So I had the mask. I had a mask on, and I get in the room, and there's a mirror, and I look in the mirror, and I got the mask on, and all this stuff is just all hanging out around the mask. It looked awful. I mean, even worse than it does now. When you have like this stuff just sticking all out from around the mask. It's a little round thing here, and it's all sticking out. Look weird. All right. That's it.
Well,
we killed 4 minutes.
There, we can do it. We're professionals of many years. Okay. We will see you next time with another look back at the TV shows and the films of the past.
The New Media Zone has been a Cable 2000 production.